Right, assalamu alaikum YouTube. Assalamu alaikum Instagram. We'll wait for some people to turn up. Assalamu alaikum YouTube. What's up Instagram? How are you guys today? Assalamu alaikum Revert Muslima. You're the only one here at the moment. No one's, assalamu alaikum Suraya. How are you today, sister? Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. I noticed that you had, that you had set the reminder for the live Q&A, so thank you for that. That's cool. How are you today, Sister Soraya? And how are you, Sister Revert Muslima? Yeah, we have a Muslima from Romania here, I believe. I think Revert Muslima's from Romania. Assalamu alaikum YouTube. We've got someone who's turned up on YouTube, alhamdulillah. And of course it's Omar, mashallah. Assalamu alaikum Omar, how you doing? Good to see you, bro. You can hear me okay, yeah? Give me a thumbs up, both of you. YouTube, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up, Instagram, if you can hear me okay. Oh yeah, you're in the States, aren't you? Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Good stuff. So, first announcement. Some of you might be thinking, where on earth is my edition of the Arabists Digest? There's no Arabists Digest today. There's no Arabists Digest today. Just because I've got so many other things going on. So we're going to delay it until next week. But next week's one is going to be a good one, inshallah. And tomorrow's episode of the podcast is a really good one as well. Reminded me of it because Mohammed's just joined on Instagram. Mohammed was a guest we recorded the episode of the podcast on Thursday, I think it was, when Mohammed came down. Was it Thursday or Wednesday? I think it was Thursday. Yes, and it's a nice episode. So you guys will get to experience that tomorrow on the podcast. But really all this live Q&A is just in case anybody has any last questions about joining the 60 Steps program. That's all this is for, really. And I'll just be here for, I don't know, half an hour or whatever. If anyone has any questions, then they just bring them up. But I think most of you are here already. There's only a few of you here at the moment. But those of you who are here, I've spoken to all of you guys about it, and you've either decided to or decided not to at the moment. So yeah, maybe maybe this isn't the most necessary live Q&A for you guys who are here, and maybe you guys can go and get on with other stuff that you need to do and stuff, inshallah. But yeah, tomorrow is going to be a really busy day. Tomorrow is going to be really busy because it's actually the launch of the program. Mohammed, I'll be in touch with you about what students you're going to be mentoring, inshallah. Mohammed, I'm on YouTube right now. My wife's just joined the live Q&A. Omar, nice question. Can you get a sneak peek of the new journal? No, not right now. It's just not in arm's reach. I've got a box of them downstairs. It'll be a surprise. I will do some posts. I will do a video showing you around them soon. But Soraya, go ahead, write your question, inshallah. If you have a question about the time, telling the time is an interesting one. Welcome to YouTube as well, Brother Mohammed. How you doing? When saying the time, should we say دقائق أو دقيقة? So دقائق is obviously the plural and دقيقة is the singular, and it depends how many minutes you're saying. If you're saying 5, then you say دقائق. If you're saying, exactly. Yeah, Mohammed, it depends what number you're using. Yeah. But most of the time when you're telling the time, you actually don't need to. You'll say وربع, a quarter past, وثلث, 20 past, والنصف, half past. Yeah, so it depends what number. You only use daqa'iq if you're using the numbers from 3 to 10. Anything else, you say daqiqa. Yeah. And remember with daqiqa, yeah. Remember daqiqa as well as mu'annaf, it's feminine as well. So the number will be reverse gender. Yeah. Cool. What else can I do for you guys? Have I missed anything on YouTube? No, I haven't, no. Wa alaikum assalam. Wa alaikum assalam. Guys, I have been absolutely loving recording the new lessons for the new Arabic in 60 Steps program. Like, we've got a whole new format now. You know, like before, I had like my little pen tablet, and then you'd see it on the screen. I'd share my screen. We're not doing it like that this time. This time I've got a bird's eye view camera that's looking down at the table, and then I've got these markers. I've got different color markers, and I've got some massive A2 paper in front of me, and then for each of the topics I would just have the title at the top at the beginning of the video, and then I just make like a whole kind of colorful mind map of all the stuff that we need to cover for that particular topic. I really enjoy recording those videos more. Like and sometimes the writing with the pen tablet gets hard to read. Sometimes like my writing's not the most. I've not got the best handwriting anyway, but like especially when I'm writing on one of those pen tablets, like they're just not particularly conducive to nice handwriting. But I went especially out of my way to get these chisel tip pens, and it makes it much nicer to write Arabic with these. So yeah, so I've really enjoyed. I've really enjoyed recording them. In terms of, oh yeah, that's a good point actually. I will drip the content. Mohammed and I had a conversation the other day about dripping the content. I'm mainly for upload speed actually. So I've been trying to upload them, but here in Northampton for some reason our internet just isn't as quick as in Cornwall. In Cornwall, we've got like the fastest internet in the country, I think. I'll be uploading 5 a day for the first 12 days. So the first 12 days that the course is running, I'll be uploading 5 of the videos a day. And then by the time, we're 12 days in, all of them will be there. And I just want it to be that way. I just want everything to be there. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to, because on the previous program, there's still not everything's in there, even until now. Yeah, and it's just because you get kind of out of a rhythm of recording the videos, and then like when you're recording step 43, you think, well, what did I actually mention in step 4? Do you know what I mean? And so it's really nice this way. Like I've already recorded up to step 33 now. Yeah, but we'll be uploading 5 of them a day. So yeah, so the whole course will be in there very quickly. Yeah, and it'll probably only be students like Mohammed, whichever one he's watching on now, who'll probably keep up with that, doing 5 videos a day. Yeah, that's not typical of students, but yeah, all of you guys who are watching, you usually see Brother Mohammed in the comments. You usually see him because he's a very active student, mashallah. He came down to Northampton to come and visit me on Thursday, and yeah, I treated him. I took him out I took him to one of my favourite restaurants here in Northampton, and then I took him for a dessert, but then we didn't eat desserts. We just had coffee, and yeah, and then I recorded a podcast, half an hour long podcast. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. The second ever guest on the podcast. The first guest was Brother Shaheen Ar-Rahman, and then second guest. Who will be the third guest? I'm hoping Brother Ismail Beaumont will be my third guest. I've already spoken to him, and he wants to be on the podcast, but we're just trying to find out the logistics, because obviously he lives in South London, so I'm not sure if I can get him up here, or if I'll have to go down and go and see him sometime, inshallah. And then also, yeah, we have a couple of other students on the program who do want to be guests on the podcast too. So hopefully we'll bring those guys in, and yeah, we'll get all of them on the podcast, inshallah. That'd be nice. So yeah, so afwan, the term afu, actually, which it probably comes from, afu is to do with forgiveness, but it means you're welcome, really. Afwan, as you wrote it, it means you're welcome. There's other terms to say that you're sorry, like asif and muta'asif. Yeah. But sometimes, I don't know, sometimes you come across words like that don't really have a good translation, like tafaddal. Like I don't really know a good translation for that. Sometimes it means like get out. Sometimes it means like here you go. Yeah, so sometimes it's better just to see something in context a number of times, rather than just kind of committing to an outright translation for things like that. Assalamu alaikum, Lamis. How are you doing today, sister? With regards to the 10 verb forms, what is the most important thing I need to know about each of them? The most important thing you need to know about each of them is how to use them. I wouldn't say that learning specific meanings associated to each of the forms is as important. Most important thing is just that. So if you mean that, perhaps that there is kind of a key feature of each of the forms, I suppose, which will help you remember it. So form 1 is obviously just 3 letters, fatha, 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 like qara'a, or fatha, kasra, fatha, like alima, or fatha, damma, fatha, like kabura. And that's pretty much all that form 1 is. Form 2, the thing that is most recognizable about it is the shadda. So verbs like darrasa, kassara, sallama. So think of form 2 kasra. Form 3 is the fact that it has an alif stuck in the middle. So verbs like qatala, awana, marasa. Yeah. So form 3 is having the alif in the middle. Form 4 is having the alif at the beginning with a hamza on it. It's the only one of the derived forms that actually has a hamza qata' at the beginning, like aslama, or the verb anzala or arsala. Those are good useful verbs in the form 4. Form 5 is a bit like form 2, but just has a ta at the beginning. So verbs like tahammasa, tahaddatha. Yeah, verbs like that. And takallama, yeah, really useful one too. Form 6 is a little bit like form 5, or a little bit like form 3 rather, but just has a ta at the beginning. So verbs like tafa'ala, tabaka. What else? Ta'awana is one as well. Yeah, I'll keep going. I know Hussein, that you just told me it makes more sense now, but I'm going to keep going. Form 7 is the noon in there. 7 noon. 7 has a noon in it. So verbs like inqasama. Verbs like intashara. Verbs like in'adama. Good word, in'adam. In'adam means a lack of something. In'adam at-taqaddum, maybe like a lack of progress in something. In'adam at-taqaddum. Yeah, so 7 has a noon in it. 7 noon. Form 8 has a ta. Form 8, ta. Oh yeah, so form 7 has a noon in it, like in qasama, and form 8 has a ta in it. I love stuff like that. Like i'taqada, like the verb ittakhadha, like the verb. There's loads. I don't know why my mind just goes blank, but yeah. Form 9 is the shadda on the end, not shadda in the middle, but the shadda on the end. Verbs like ihmarra, verbs like ibiyadda, izraqqa. They're all to do with changing colours, pretty much. And then the form 10 is the ista ones. استبعد, استغفر, استسلم, استعمل, استخدم. I like the verb استعمل. I like how in Somali sometimes they take the masdar and they make a noun out of it. So like the masdar of the Arabic word استعمل is استعمال, and then Somalis will take the word استعمال and then make a verb out of it. So like the way that you say that you are doing something in Somali, or one of the ways, is to say wahan and then use the verb and then say ayah at the end. The ayah suffix goes in the end. So wahan استعمال ayah in Somali means like I'm using something. Wahan استعمال ayah, I'm using. And you do it as well for like, they don't say this in the South. In the South, for drinking, they say ab, which is actually an Arabic word, by the way. The verb abba means to gulp something. But in the north of Somalia, they actually use the word sharab, which obviously comes from the masdar of in the Arabic, and they say like wahan sharabaya. People actually say that in the north in Somalia, but in the South they don't. People say ab. Yeah, but I find that fascinating how Somali will take a masdar from Arabic and then we'll kind of conjugate it in a Somali way, and then that becomes the Somali. Yeah. So anyway, what else can I do for you guys? What else can I do for you? Are there any other questions? I've got to drive to London today, which is why we're doing this Q&A earlier than what I usually do. Got to drive to London, so yeah. So we're going to do this now. Answer any questions that you guys have, and next time that I'll check in with you guys will be tomorrow on the podcast. Please go and enjoy the podcast. I really, really want to buy a new microphone soon, inshallah. I want to spend like £100 on a really nice mic. I want to get one of those Yeti mics. In my podcast all the time, I've always been trying to drop like hints to like, there's a company called Blue and they do mics, and I really want one of them. I really want them to give me one for free, but I haven't really put forward a very compelling argument for them, to be honest. How much vocab would you recommend? How much would you recommend a beginner to memorize each day? 5 words, but make it every day. I would say even 1 a day. Do you know what I mean? أنت من وين؟ أنا من بريطانيا العظمى. What else we got? We say بريطانيا العظمى, but it's not so عظمى anymore, really, is it? Yeah, so yeah, I really want to get a Yeti mic, one of the blue Yeti mics, but they're like £120 or whatever. But I should get one, shouldn't I? Because I've been using this. I've been using this for years. Yeah. I want to get one of the, because I've got them in different colours. The midnight blue one is the one that I want. I want that one. That'd be a good day for me if I get that. Yeah. What else we got? Sorry, YouTube, I've been ignoring you guys a little bit. Wa alaikum assalam, Yasmin. Da'wah man on the podcast. Inshallah, man. I do chat to Brother Imran quite often in the DMs, but yeah, I'm gonna go down and see those guys sometime soon. I think it might be more likely that we get his brother Saad on the podcast before, because his brother Saad actually is an Arabic teacher as well, and it suits him well coming on this podcast. And I also get on really well with Saad. Whenever I've met up with those brothers, I just really like Saad. Do you think that the Arabic GCSE this year is much different to last year? Yes, it is. I've looked at both of these syllabus. Well, I know the previous syllabus pretty well because I was an examiner for it, but it's very different now. It is very different now. But I'm free from those guys, man. I'm nothing to do with the GCSE exam anymore. Yeah, you're right. I could just message them about a sponsorship. I could. Well, I have actually in the past, but they ignored me. They said no, thank you, in the way of not responding. To be honest, it's a bit ambitious, really. Like I've only got a little podcast. You know what I mean? It's like, I've not got a massive audience, but alhamdulillah. No, really, you know, like I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really fishing for sponsors. Do you know what I mean? Like on a serious note, I'm not really fishing for sponsors. I talk about it sometimes because loads of people who have YouTube channels and stuff are sponsors, and I've done sponsorship deals before for my other channel, for my Sam of Somalia channel. I did a sponsorship for 6 months with italki. Yeah. Do you know where Saad learnt Arabic? So he studied Arabic at uni. He went to Westminster Uni. Yeah, and he learnt Arabic there. I think he did Arabic and linguistics actually. Yeah, but I've done the Arabic code course because in the Knowledge College, obviously the brothers they run this service called the Knowledge College. It's like £8 a month. This is so good. And then they've got a program in there called the Arabic Code, and Saad is the teacher. And they've got loads of really cool like video animations and stuff like that. They've got like when he talks about the ism, for example, like the word ism will appear, and he'll talk about the different kinds of an ism. Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty cool if you like that. If you like that way of learning, it's a good program for you guys. And I've been through it anyway, and he knows what he's talking about. Like it is a really good little program. Even though like a lot of the Arabic programs are online and stuff, are technically below my level. I still just do them anyway. Like most of the ones, like most of the Facebook ads that you guys get for different Arabic programs, I've done most of them just because I want to see. I just want to learn from the best programs and see what things that I can implement in my own program. You know. Wa alaikum salam, Yasir. Congratulations, Akhi, on coming on the 60 Steps program. Congrats, bro. You are a very, very, very unique and special person, mashallah, who's made a commitment to being awesome. So well done. So in the word count, that's a good question actually. You're asking about that. Let me just. Yes, when the writing question, would el kitab be counted as two words? No. Even using were to mean and, that isn't even counted as a separate word because it's not. When you use were meaning and, you should join it to the word. So warajulu, that's just one word. Even though in English we say and the man, warajulu in Arabic is one word, so that's just one word. Because I remember when I was writing my dissertation in Arabic when I was at uni in Palestine, I tried to boost my word count loads by trying to separate the wow from words just to boost my word count, but they were like, no, you can't do that. How about opening a donation page for it? I'm sure students would come through. So, yeah, I'm not sure about that at the moment, really. Like, I don't really want to ask for donations. I don't know why. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't know why. Just, if there is a way that I can, if there is a way that I can build my channel without needing to ask for donations, like I'd rather do that. There's nothing wrong with it. Loads of people do it, and like people do Patreon and stuff like that, and they're really good. Like it's really good to do that sort of stuff. But it's just not really what I'm into at the moment. Like because those pages, like Patreon, for example, Patreon takes a lot of time and effort to manage that page as well. And I think if I'm going to manage that and think about what incentives to give people and what rewards to give people for sponsoring and stuff like that, I think I might as well just use that time serving my students. Do you know what I mean? But it's a nice idea though. Yasir, assalamu alaikum, akhi. I have a hard time with vocabulary. I recently finished all 3 Medina books. Congratulations, by the way. Most people don't finish. Most people don't finish all of them. So huge congratulations to you, akhi, for that. How can I improve my vocabulary? I don't have a teacher. So I think usually students think about vocabulary in the wrong way. Usually students sort of think that they need to be learning loads of words, but that's really boring. You know, really, I think you should just be reading Arabic and just picking up words as you go, just like we do in English. Like in English, if you want to improve your vocabulary, just read. Like you just read books that you enjoy, and you'll become a lot more. You know, you'll just expand your vocabulary a lot just by doing that, and it's the same in Arabic. Yeah. Switch to tea right now, by the way. I've got this, it's so nasty. I don't even know how to say that, but my wife suggested it. Matcha. Matcha tea. It's so nasty, but alhamdulillah. I want to switch to tea because I drink way too much coffee. And it'd be good to drink something throughout the day that's just not so addictive. So yeah. Yeah, my sister bought me this. Really brilliant brother. My sister bought it for me. My sister, since I became a Muslim, she has given me such good presents. Even though I don't celebrate since I became a Muslim, I don't celebrate birthdays. But like my sister, because I became a Muslim when I was 16. On my 17th birthday, my sister bought me a watch so that I could and the idea of it was that I'd keep track of my salah times, basically. My sister's a non-Muslim, by the way. And then my sister, when I came home from uni once, she bought me this really brilliant brother. Not just because I'm her brother, but because Muslims call each other brothers. Yes, my sister bought me that mug. It's pretty good. Yorkshire Gold tea is what you need. Yeah, I like tea from the north. The northerners know how to do a proper cup of tea. I give the north a hard time on this YouTube channel and on my Instagram, to be honest. Coming from Cornwall, we just think of the north as just a bit sort of uncivilized. Coming from Cornwall, we sort of we're just a bit frightened of anything kind of past the Tamar Bridge. Yeah, I remember going to school, and when I was at school and when I was at college and stuff, my friends would be like, "I'm going to go to uni up north," and what they meant was like Exeter. How did you come to Islam? Yeah, I haven't really told that story on this channel, have I? I have a really grainy, poor quality video from about 4 years ago on my other channel where I talk about it for about 10 minutes, but it would be cool to kind of just tell you guys about it a bit, maybe sometime. Yeah. Do you know when would be a good time to do it? A good time to do it would be if Brother Faisal would just invite me on his podcast. That would be a good time to do it. Because he does like 3-hour long podcasts. Yeah, Hassan, inshallah, have a look at the program, see if it's for you. Go to arabic60steps.com. Just go and check it out. Yeah, go and see if it's for you. It is an investment. It's not free. It is a bit of an investment. It's affordable. It's cheaper than hiring a tutor or something. But it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be for everyone or for really cheap. That's not kind of one of the points about it. Like it's a serious program. Do you know what I mean? It's a serious, high quality program with things in it that. Do you know? I don't think most people understand how amazing it is to have your own mentor. Like, I've never ever known online programs in my life offer that. To say to you, look, you've got this online program, but then I'm also going to hire someone to look after you and speak to you every week. Who's like one of the guys. We've got 2 incredible mentors who are going to be starting off, inshallah. Like there's not on the previous program there was 150 students, but the program was way cheaper, so there was loads more. Now at the moment we don't have anywhere near that, so we only need 2 mentors at the moment. We've got 2 brothers and 1 sister at the moment, and the 2 brothers, like they're incredible students of the Arabic language. Like one of them's nearly a graduate of the Arabic in 60 Steps program, Brother Muhammad, who was here a minute ago. He's one of the mentors. And then the other one's Ismail Beaumont. Like he's a graduate from the Islamic University of Medina, and he's made himself available to look after some of my students. It's incredible. Yeah, like I don't think most people when people ask for the price, is it more grammar based? What the program? Both. So So the Arabic in 60 Steps program, it goes through 60 of the 60 most important concepts in Arabic grammar, really. But each one of the lessons comes with a 10-word vocab list. So students kind of build their vocab to at least 600 words, but there's extra vocab in there, here and there. So really students end up with about 1,000 words by the end of the program, and that's enough. That's enough for the purpose of the course. Yeah. But anyway, as I was saying, like when people ask about the price, interesting one, isn't it? Because recently on my Instagram, I put out a little post like asking people if it annoys them when people have like a service or a product or whatever, and they don't just tell you what the price is. Like that really annoys me because it's really common at jiu-jitsu clubs that they don't tell you how much you have to pay. Like in London, some jiu-jitsu clubs, you have to pay £120 a month, and they don't tell you. They get you to come along for the first class, then the instructor will talk to you about it and everything, and just take you over to the counter to go sign up, and then he'll tell you it's £120 a month. Like, that's infuriating for me when people do that. So I never really wanted to do that with my program. I always wanted to just be frank with people and be like, look, this is how much it costs. If it's easy, if that's okay for you, awesome. If it's not, I'm not going to try to rope you in. Do you know what I mean? But then but now I have a program that's a little bit more premium. It's not even premium. It's, as I say, it's cheaper than having a tutor, but like, it's more expensive than just buying a book, for example. Like my program is more expensive than just buying a book. And like, but if people, without knowing anything about the program, they just come up to me and they say, how much is your online course? It doesn't really do it justice. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really do the program justice, because if they don't know the value of it, then they have their own assumptions about how much you should pay. Like if someone just came up to you in the street and they just gave you a little bit of piece of paper and it said on it, instead of £5 on it, you'd be like, I don't want to pay that. Do you know what I mean? You just think of the number before, and then later, if you found out that it was actually for like a 3-course meal or whatever, you'd still just have in your head, oh, but I'm losing a £5. But that'd be the first thing that you'd kind of have in your head. And I think that about my program a little bit. So whilst I don't want to be like I'm fundamentally opposed to being like salesy and stuff, you know what I mean? Like most of you guys will know that most of my content is like just entirely free. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like watch halfway through and then surprise, you have to pay for the other half. Like I don't do anything like that. But there needs to be a balance, doesn't there? Because another thing, right? Another thing is that in terms of like when I charge for a program, you need to bear in mind as well, like you guys have probably known me long enough that I think you guys should probably understand that it's not actually for me. Like it's for the project. Like you know, this stuff that I'm doing, like I want to reach millions of Arabic students, inshallah. Like I have ambitions to change the way that the ummah think about learning Arabic. Do you know what I mean? Like I want to change in my lifetime. I want to see people becoming bilingual Arabic and English and raising their children speaking Arabic and stuff because of my work. So me taking money is just not the thing that's on my mind. Like the thing that's on my mind is just earning money so I can buy things like a better microphone, and I can buy things like better lighting, and I can have a team, and I can support other Arabic students and stuff like that. Like, you know, like a lot of people are just don't trust, are just so untrusting. Do you know what I mean? They're so skeptical of people, you know, but it's really not that. Like, and inshallah, like I don't expect you to take my word for it. I'll prove it to you. Like I'll prove it to you over the years that I'm creating this material and stuff, that anything that people pay, most of it is going back into the project, is going back into serving Arabic students and training Arabic teachers and stuff. It's going back into the mission. It's not really for myself. Like, guys, if Muhammad's still here, he'd testify to this, yeah? Like, even if I had some massive YouTube channel and stuff, I'm not a materialistic person. Like, I drive a little Peugeot. I live in a little Victorian terrace house in Northampton, little working class town, the bowels of working class England. And I'm happy, alhamdulillah. I don't need more than this, alhamdulillah. Like anything that comes in money-wise for my programs and stuff is purely going to be recycled into a dedication to serving the Muslims for an Arabic language need that isn't being served. That's what it's for. Oh yeah, sorry, there's another question. So what Arabic literature do you recommend reading to improve Arabic? Any online material? So there is a book that you can get hold of. There is a book called Alauddin, like an Aladdin book in Arabic. You can get the PDF online. It's really nice, like really good quality PDF. Just type it in, Alauddin. Ala spelled Ain Lam Alif Hamza, and then Ad-Din, Alif Lam Dal Ya Nun, Alauddin. Really nice. And then as well, it's not literature, but there's a series on YouTube just called Ulama al-Muslimin, like Muslim scientists. And that's awesome. That's really good as well. It has subtitles and stuff too. And you can actually see it with English subtitles as well, I think. I haven't watched that, but I think it is available too. Yes, that's what I recommend. Yeah. What else we got? The price reveal usually comes out after a few clicks through the web page and after a 30-minute video, and then it still says X payments of X amount. Yeah, I never wanted to be like that, right? Like I always kind of, I always just wanted to be transparent with students, inshallah. Like, I think most of you know, right, that there are really powerful sales techniques that people are using out there. Like some people have Arabic programs and are selling their online Arabic programs for $1,000. Like I think, like you guys know that, right? Like there are people who do that, and that's fine. You know what I mean? As long as they're giving the students results, that's wicked. In fact, it's cheap. Do you know what I mean? Like if somebody is teaching you Arabic to a high level for $1,000, that is cheap. You know what I mean? So I'm not criticizing that. But what I'm saying is like I have ambitions to be serving the Arabic students of the world for another 50 years. Like I have like long-term goals. And I think when you go for a hard sell, my feeling is that those students aren't like long-term loyal to you, if you see what I mean. I think you can charge someone $2,000 for an Arabic course, and I paid £12,000 for my degree. Do you know what I mean? I paid £12,000 for an Arabic degree, which wasn't even that good. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, which wasn't even that good. But because of that, I kind of resent my uni for that. I kind of resent them that I paid so much for something that wasn't so good. So I've kind of got it in mind that I just be transparent with people from the very beginning, and inshallah we just build like a nation of Arabic students and teachers who are just dedicated to helping each other. That's what I care about. So inshallah it'll work out best in the long run, even if it means that I'm leaving loads of money on the table at the moment. I don't care about that. What else can I help you guys with? We've been here for a little while. We've been here for about 40 minutes now, I think. Instagram will kick me off in 20 minutes. That's a really interesting question, actually, we just had on YouTube. Do you have any books in Arabic in regarding to sleeping patterns and diet practices for studying maintenance? So, do you mean right? Do you mean actually written in Arabic for that, or do you mean like you just want more advice for things like sleep and diet for just being an awesome Arabic student? Because I have a really close friend of mine who is like, well, a really close friend of mine is probably my best friend actually. A brother called Asher, and he's incredible at with study methods and stuff. He's the founder of Next Gen Tutor. If you look at nextgentutor.com, he's got an online course and stuff and an academy for GCSE age students, and he is a ninja at that. Like I'd love to have him on the podcast sometime actually, just to teach about study techniques and stuff, because that guy is a genius. He was reading seriously big novels when he was like 7, 8 years old. He's you know. Nice question. What modules did you do in your Arabic degree? So my first year, I did obviously pure Arabic, and then as my other module, I had to do Arabic culture. It was absolutely terrible, but it was a good way of learning about what the modern Arab world is like, because I kind of had an idealistic perspective on what the Arab world was like. Like I'd sort of come to Islam, and I'd only really met like religious Arabs. And learning about Arab culture, we had to learn about kind of Arab dress and food and music and cinema and movies and like Egyptian series and stuff like that. And I learned how much the Arab world had fallen off. So that was good experience. In the second year, I did loads of modules actually. I did reading Islamic texts, classical Arabic literature. Oh yeah, I did seerah, biography and traditions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then obviously pure Arabic. Third year in Palestine, it's just Arabic. So we do like about 80% Fusha, about 20% Amiyya, and then within the Fusha we have to write a dissertation as well. And I wrote my dissertation on the description of the Christians in Rihlat ibn Jubayr. That was my dissertation, 5,000 words in Arabic. And then my final year, I did Somali, studies of Quran and Hadith. And then, and what else did I do? Quran and Hadith studies, Somali, Arabic, and reading classical Arabic historians, actually. I don't know if you've heard of an author called Hugh Kennedy. There's an author called Hugh Kennedy who's he's a professor of Arabic at SOAS where I went, and I was taught by him. He's the author of loads of books, actually, loads of books. I'm trying to remember the names. Court of the Caliphates or something like that. Court of the Caliphates he's the author of, and the author of the Great Arab Conquests as well. He's the author of loads of these books, and I was actually taught by him. And I actually, in that Arabic historians class, I actually sat next to brother Adnan Rashid, brother Musa. You know Musa Adnan, his dad. I sat next to him in that class. Yeah, it was quite nice meeting him actually, because him and I we'd both done dawah in East Africa. I was in Uganda for a few months, back a few years, like 2014, so like 5 years ago. But when I was out there, there's a brother called Badru, there's another brother called Abdul Karim, and they're like at the top of their game in their dawah out there to doing dawah to the Christians. And yeah, we kind of had some mutual friends in Uganda, which is quite cool. Oh, nice. Yeah, I said I was also planning to study in Palestine. Did you study at Birzeit? No, I didn't study at Birzeit. I studied at Jami'atul Najah. Yeah. Does the degree teach you how to speak fluently? Yes. If you do the work. It gives you all the tools that you need to learn to be a fluent speaker in Arabic, for sure. But I know that I think I'm the only person from my year at uni who's using Arabic in their job now. I don't think anyone else is. Of all the other people who I know who I went to uni with, none of them are using Arabic in their jobs now. If they were lucky, they went into other things. Which country is currently best for learning Arabic? I'd say Egypt. Egypt is famous for like Arabic and Quran. I'd say Egypt. Egypt, just for the sheer volume of Tullab al-Ilm, I would say that there's just so many teachers, and it's so affordable as well. Like, I mean, you can go to Egypt and you can have private tutors and stuff so easily. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can, your whole study experience can be so much easy. Yeah. Do you think the Arabic language should be learnt as a whole or divided and taught separately, like sarf and nahu? So I think in the beginning, it's good for adults to learn Arabic as a science, to learn those kind of separate sciences, learn nahu and learn sarf separately as an adult. I think an adult who doesn't have like any immersion into the Arabic language, I think is good. But I don't know. I'm just an advocate of as learning it as a whole and complete and everyday used language. I think sometimes when we go for like a nahu and sarf and balagha approach, sometimes we end up with a language that's not like a living language. We end up with just learning it as kind of like a mechanical science, which it is as well, but it is also a living language. Is the reality in being good at Arabic putting in your own time? Yeah, absolutely, of course. The teacher can only kind of provide you with a structure and some sort of incentive for sure. What's your advice? Let me just see that again. On YouTube. Question on YouTube. Ustad Sam. what's your advice on learning Arabic for the Quran from scratch? So, like, is your objective only to learn Arabic for the Quran? Because if that's the case, just learn tafsir. Yeah, maybe do, I don't know, maybe do some nahu and some sarf. Maybe just go through al-ajrumiyya or something, just to kind of get a not that al-ajrumiyya is the most basic thing in the world, but just do a kind of classical grammar book like that, and just do tafsir. Like, Quranic Arabic isn't a whole language. It's just that's just a term that refers to learning to understand the Quran. But the religion isn't just the Quran. Like, the religion is the Sunnah as well, and the religion is also being among the Muslims, and for the Muslim needs to have a complete appreciation for the Arabic language. So, that's a really nice question, actually. I've talked about this a little bit before, but yes, it asks Medina Arabic books versus Al-Arabiyya Bayna Yadayk versus Ibn Sa'ud Riyad books versus any other book. Which do you think is best and why? So, these are all phenomenal curriculums. They're all phenomenal curriculums, and they all work. They've all produced high-level Arabic students, right? But what you need to do is pay attention to who they're written for. You know what I mean? Like, when people come to me and they say, I don't know, are the Medina book, is your curriculum as good as the Medina books? Well, take a step back a second. The Medina books are written for a specific purpose that's different to mine. The Medina books were not written to be taught online. That's the first thing. They're not written to be taught online. They are written to be taught by an Arab to non-Arabs. Okay, and they're written for students of Islamic knowledge who go to the University of Medina from a whole array of different countries, and they're to be taught in Arabic. Do you know what I mean? They're supposed to be taught in Arabic. So, like, they're for a specific purpose, right? Whereas, like, a program like mine's not for that purpose. Like, my program is written for people from the UK, USA, and Canada, right? That's what my program's written for. Like, I've studied the national curriculums in those countries. Like, I used to be a primary school teacher, so, like, I know what people growing up in the UK are familiar with in terms of grammar, in terms of their language learning expectations and stuff, and to a lesser extent, but still similar. I know what, like, people in America and Canada expect from a language learning experience. So that's what I've written my program for. So, I mean, so you just need to go into what those curriculums were written for. Like, none of these curriculums are written by people who don't know what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're all good. And I encourage students to just do all of them. Do you know what I mean? Sorry if I missed that question before. During the speaking exam, can you speak slang Arabic? No, you will not get any marks for it. Everything which you say, it needs to be standard Arabic. I have a video, actually, from ages ago, actually. There is a video on my YouTube channel, though, about kind of 10 ways to kind of make your Arabic a bit more standard for the speaking exam. There's a few little tweaks that you can make to your Arabic just to make it a bit more formal. Things like mishkida and ba'rafish, things like that won't go very far. Yeah, in your speaking exam, say things like alaysa kadhalik instead of mushkida or mishhik. Say alaysa kadhalik or laysa kadhalik. Yeah, instead of ma ba'rafish, say la a'rifu. Or yeah, you do kind of need to make some tweaks to your Amiyya. Some people criticize the Medina books for being very robotic. You don't get a grasp of speaking, it focuses only on Arabic. What do you think? So that might be an issue with the Medina books not being taught in Medina. In Medina, that wouldn't be a problem because the students are living in Saudi Arabia and they have plenty of opportunity to practice outside of the classroom, right? So that might be a problem with teaching the Medina books in the wrong place. That's what I mean. We need to look at the curriculums. What are they written for, and who are they written for, and how should they be taught? You know. But I'm not saying that I necessarily agree with that though, because our brother Ismail Beaumont, like he's a phenomenal Arabic teacher. Like he teaches the Medina books, and he's a phenomenal teacher. What are the learning objectives of your program entirely? Will students be able to read, write, and converse? So yes, those are all objectives, to be able to read, write, understand in an oral sense, and be able to speak Arabic. Those are all objectives of my program. But to what level? So the level is a term that I've kind of coined. I've not heard any other programs use it before, but I call it independence. So I want students to be independent in Arabic. So that means that they have enough Arabic that they can kind of be let out into the world and read texts and listen to lectures and speak to people in the street and stuff. But they've got like the basis that they need. Do you know what I mean? Like they've got the foundation in grammar and about 1,000 words of vocab that will kind of let them survive. That's kind of the level, that's kind of the objective. But just to kind of give you a gauge on the sort of things that we're reading by the end of it, like the last nine steps in the 60 steps program, they're all texts, right? Like we cover a substantial amount of vocab and rules and stuff all the way up to there. And then those last 9 lessons are just showing the students how good they are. And we read, so that we do a lesson on Mekki Quran, we do Medini Quran, we do classical Arabic poetry, Middle Ages Arabic poetry, and modern Arabic poetry. We do hadith, we do reading newspapers, we do classical historians, and we do travel writings as well. So we've got like all these different genres of Arabic texts that students can read, write about, and discuss in Arabic by the end of the program. So so it's pretty good. What made you pursue a career in teaching and sharing Arabic? So I never really envisaged myself doing anything else. I only became a primary school teacher in the beginning because I needed a salary because I wanted to get married. That's the only reason why I really went into teaching at primary. I only ever really wanted to teach Arabic. It's hard to describe why. I don't know, when something's part of you and you live it so much, it's hard to kind of articulate one reason, I suppose. Like firstly on a language level, language just blows my mind. Like I think the fact that the way that humans can make such sophisticated sounds with our mouths and our voice boxes and our tongues and our lips in such a well-ordered way that we can express things on a really sophisticated level that just blows my mind. And the Arabic language is just the epitome of that. It's by no coincidence that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the Quran as a lisan and Arabiyyun. It's not a coincidence that that's the case. And just studying Arabic and specifically the Quran is, to me just seems like such a humanizing thing, like it's such a celebration of the dignity of human beings, right? Like other animals don't communicate with their tongues. Right, other animals communicate from their throats. If you listen to the sounds that animals make to communicate, they communicate from their throats. But it's humans that communicate with our tongues, and so language in and of itself, and it's the easiest thing in the world for me to do, for me to just talk about and explain concepts in Arabic, and it's just the thing that I think I'm the best at. Of anything else I can do in the world, and I can't imagine doing anything else. Like I intend to be teaching Arabic for another 60 years, 50 years. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that I do a YouTube channel for a year, see if I can get 1,000 subscribers, and if I don't, I'll cut. Like, I'll still be here. If all of you unsubscribe now, I'll be here. If there's 4 students in the world who want my help, I'll still be here. Yeah. My sister's interested and she has no experience whatsoever. Can she take it at a pace she can handle? Yes, absolutely. All of the content is pre-recorded. So if she wants to take 2 years to learn it, she can. If she wants to take 6 months to learn it, she can. And also we have male and female mentors as well. So if she'd rather a female mentor, obviously, she'll be assigned a female mentor on the program as well. So there's female mentors on the program for female sisters. Obviously, you don't get male sisters, do you? Obviously, but yeah. Instagram, I'm going to be kicked off soon. because Instagram don't let me stay for more than an hour. They kick me off. They say, Sam, get out of here. We don't want you anymore. Anyway, actually, Instagram, you guys aren't giving me good enough questions anyway, Instagram. YouTube are engaging with me a lot, and there's the same number of you on each of them. I don't know. Instagram, why are you not pulling your weight? Why are you not putting good questions and having a good conversation with me? Right, sorry, YouTube. I just had to tell Instagram off. Do you hear me, Instagram? Oh yes, we were talking about the pace of the program, weren't we? Yeah, it's completely pre-recorded. You get access to your mentor for the first 6 months on the program, because the reason why I've done that is because students tend to have a bit of, when they've spent a little bit of money and they're invested and they've got a bit of enthusiasm and stuff, they have a bit of passion for like about 6 months. And you know, I really want to have the mentors assisting the students for that amount of time, just to really, really get as much of a boost in those first 6 months as possible, and like lay good habits going forward. So yeah, you know, this program is this time around. The program, you know, it has a lot. I don't know. I think the way that I've written the program now, I've really listened to the way that students behave. Like just the fact that it's not just a workbook anymore; it's a journal now, and it has opportunities in there for students to commit to certain times a week that they're going to be studying and stuff actually in their journal. And like I think that we've really understood on my program that learning Arabic is as much about training your students to have good study habits as it is providing good resources. Do you know what I mean? Like one of the main objectives of the program is, you know, is to empower the students with strong study habits, you know, as well as offering awesome materials, which I believe our video tutorials are absolutely incredible as well this year as well. Question from Instagram. Assalamu alaikum, Soraya. Soraya is a student on the original Arabic in 60 Steps program. With the mentors, do they call you? No, it's all through Facebook chat. They might choose to call you if there's something in particular, but they'll call you through Facebook. Everything will be through the Facebook app, or through the website if you're using it on desktop. But yeah, because the mentors are also going to be admins of the Facebook group. Yeah, so they can kind of pitch in any conversations, anything else that's going on too. Instagram are going to kick me off in 25 seconds. So, Soraya, I hope that answers your question. They won't necessarily call you. They can, but I've told the mentors that they should be giving each of their students at least 15 minutes a week. At least 15 minutes a week, they should be responding to your questions. They should be listening to you. And if students need to do more than that, then the mentors pass that on to me, and I'll make sure that you're looked after. Instagram, assalamu alaikum. Durham University. What's up, Durham University? Yes, it does. Yes, it does enable students to read and understand the Quran. We cover 75% of the vocab from the Quran, and probably a higher percentage of that of the grammar that's in the Quran as well. I can't promise that, you know, it's not a tafsir course. Like it's not a specifically Quran course. So I can't promise students that they'll be like scholars of the Quran or whatever. But on a purely language level, the curriculum is written to give students that ability. Yeah. I hope that answers the question. Surely we don't actually have Durham University in the you know, in the chat. Durham University offer a degree in Arabic as well, or at least they did when I was applying. I didn't apply for Durham because it's too far north. Although I did apply for Leeds. Cool. What do you study at Durham? Durham is meant to be a beautiful place. I know a number of people who went to Durham, but right, we're finished with Instagram. I'm sick of you guys anyway on Instagram. I'm sick of you lot anyway. Nowhere near as good as the YouTube lot. You got good questions and stuff. Not like the Instagram lot. I knew a girl called Heidi who went to study law at Durham. And that's all. Yeah, but I know Durham did offer an Arabic degree. And also, I think they actually also offer a Spanish degree as well, because I applied to do Spanish at a couple of places. Yeah. Including Oxford, by the way. And I was accepted, believe it or not, to do Spanish at Oxford. But I turned it down because I became a Muslim and wanted to learn Arabic at SOAS. What else have we got? Yeah, I studied at SOAS. I didn't study at, yeah. That was where I studied at uni. SOAS is sort of UCL's back garden. It's this little uni in London. Yeah. Have you heard of it? I always have to explain to people what a SOAS is. I'm like, I went to SOAS, and they're like, what's that? And I said, School of Oriental African Studies. And they say, why are you going back to school? I said, no, it's not. It's not like a school. Like you know, it is a university. And yeah, they just say never heard of it. Then I have to explain to them it's just next to UCL. And then people know what UCL is. They don't know what SOAS is. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Like if people are into like African and Asian languages, they know what SOAS is. But I never know with people. Do you know what I mean? Like if there's someone who asks me about what uni I went to, I always say I went to this little uni called SOAS. And if they're the kind of person who knows about languages and stuff, they're like, "What do you mean this little uni? Like everyone knows it." Do you know what I mean? If they're in that industry, but if not, they're like, "Never heard of it." Yes, I'm a revert to Islam. Yeah. Yeah. I came to Islam when I was 17, when I was living in Cornwall. But now I live in Northampton, the pearl of the Midlands. But I was actually born here in Northampton. Yeah. Bog standard Midlands. Not fancy pants Durham. All right, guys, I need to drive to London soon. So, are there any more questions? We will sign out soon if there are no more questions, inshallah. Sup, Desert Vox? Nice comment. Anyone else, guys? Can I help anyone else? Oh, right, yeah. Oh, right, yeah, I see, yeah. Okay, yeah, Desert Vox was acknowledging some ahmaq in the comments who's writing in Arabic a load of nonsense. But that's fine. Did you consider using animated cartoons for teaching Arabic? No, it's not really my style. It's not really what I do. Yeah, that's just not really what I do. I like just being a person and interacting with people. But there is, a lot of people learn really well like that. So there are people who are out there who do it, and it's really important that other people do it because a lot of people learn well. In terms of my friend's website, Next Gen Tutor, let me look it up on my mobile. This is my my backup mobile phone. This one camera broke. In my line of work, it's a big problem if your camera breaks. So let's look it up. It is Next. It's not Next. It's just Next. NextGenTutor.com. NEXGEN Tutor.com. His stuff is particularly good for GCSE age students. But he does other stuff. He does consulting and stuff. He has an awesome online program too. He's written a few books as well. There's here. The website looks like this. That's the logo. Yeah, you can see the information for the online academy there. Yeah, but it's No, I've known him for a while. I've known him for a long time. We went to uni together, and yeah, I'd like to have him on the podcast sometime because he knows how to get information in your brain. Yeah, he knows a lot about study techniques and stuff like that. So yeah, cool. All right, guys, we're gonna sign out, inshallah. Yeah, because I need to drive to London. Cool. All right, guys, take it easy, inshallah. Those of you who have joined the new program, congratulations. You guys are awesome. I'll be in touch tomorrow about your mentors linking up with you. Mohammed, I will be your mentor because you are a mentor yourself. And yeah, guys, the 8 of you who are here, tomorrow the podcast is coming out, inshallah. Mohammed is a guest on the podcast tomorrow, and it will go out at about 6 p.m. inshallah, that episode of the podcast. So yeah, enjoy it. See you guys soon. Assalamu alaikum.